Today we're gonna be making a YouTube plush toy. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna measure out on our cardboard piece the little triangle inside the play button. It's gonna be 10 centimeters long. I need a 60-degree angle right here. The same thing over here, I need a 60-degree angle. See how I got that triangle in there? I am going to cut it out now. Cutting it across. And there we got it. We got a little play button triangle. Take this little white piece of fabric. If you take a closer look at the fabric, one side is like kind of ruffly and clumped together, and the other side is like a nice smooth surface. This is actually gonna be the inside, and then the nice fabric shows on the outside. Take your triangle and we're gonna put it down, and we're gonna need 2 of these. So here's the first one. There you go. There's one triangle, another triangle. We have our triangles drawn onto our white fabric. Carefully cut along the drawn line. If you have fabric scissors, I suggest using that. Here's to show. 2 perfect triangles. Now you're gonna take your pins and needles, just a few of them. I think you only need 3 for this. Then you're gonna take the side with the blue lines, the bad side, make sure it's facing outward. When I put that triangle together, when I turn it around, see, this is the ugly side and the ugly side. Take our pin both of them together like that. Now, before I begin using the sewing machine, I just want you to know that you can sew this by hand if you want to, or if you just don't have a sewing machine. But if you do have a sewing machine, I highly recommend that you use it. Try it out, even if it's your first time. Don't be scared. Put this down, and here we go. Do one straight line all the way to the corner, and be really careful of my finger. Once I reach that corner, lift that up, and then turn it. Straight line down. Turn it again to this side. Just gonna go a little bit past that corner so I can leave just this little opening. That is done. Pull it out and then snip. As you can see, I left like this little hole, and that's because I'm gonna flip it inside out. It's flipping! And we have our perfect little play button. Now we gotta close this little gap here, and we're not gonna use the sewing machine for that. So now what we're gonna do, it's called invisible stitch. So you're gonna grab yourself some white thread, go in and out on the same side, just a little bit. Okay, then you're gonna go to the other side, straight across from it. As you see, it's kind of like folded in already. That's okay. You wanna sew it into that inner flap on the side. Once you hit that other side, it should give you a little line like that. And then when I pull that line, it disappears. You just keep repeating it until you close up your hole. When I go out this time, I'm gonna go in between the thread so I can lock it in place. Cut that off. Boop. Now we're gonna move on to the pillow part, which is just one big rectangle pillow. You're gonna need that big cardboard. You could use your regular ruler, but I have an even bigger and better ruler. Ugh. My right angle ruler. I am going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and a half. Move my ruler again, trace it in. Thank you, giant ruler. Cutting. Yes! I'm like cutting off like a centimeter at a time. Ah! Don't need this. Don't need that. Perfect rectangle. Now you're gonna need your red fabric. In my case, it is an old red onesie. Nobody wears it anymore, so I can cut this up. You can use any old clothes that nobody's wearing. Don't just take it off people's back, because that's not nice. I'm gonna cut this leg off right here. And then I got a leg. Cut that open. Okay, as you can see, there's that ugly side, and then there's that nice smooth side. So I am gonna be drawing on the ugly side. Take my cardboard, putting it right here in that center. Go right across with the marker. Same thing for every single side. We need another rectangle. We don't really need this anymore, so bye. Cut out these rectangles. And finished. Now, before I put them together, I'm actually gonna put my little play button on one of the sides. Make sure it's centered right in the middle and hold it in place. Turn it around. And we're gonna take our needle, press it in, and then come back out. See how back here I'm only attached to this side and not the front side. You see how I came forward right here, all the way forward? Now I'm gonna take a little step back. Like, oh no, I just tooted. So let me just, excuse me. Let me go back. Go back behind the string. Pull that forward. Now you want to do this all the way around the triangle because you'll feel the triangle. So don't worry, you're not gonna miss. I am going to try to make a loop to try to lock it in so the thread doesn't come out. So now you want to make sure that the nicer part of the fabric is inside. When I flip it around, both sides of this is the more rough side. That way I can flip it inside out later and I don't have to worry about it being on the wrong side. Line these two up as nicely as I can. Pin it down to hold it in place. Pull this machine back at me. Make sure you have some red thread instead of white because we have moved on to the next color. We're gonna start right here. Just like the play button, we're gonna sew all around until we get right here. We're just gonna leave this little gap here. That way we can put all this cotton in later on. Now when you get to that corner, you wanna make sure your needle is inside and then you open it and then spin it around. This is much faster than doing it by hand. Make sure all the safety pins that you use go safely back where it belongs so it doesn't go poking you or anybody else. Remember now, this last one, you're not going all the way through, okay? You're just gonna go a little, just about this much, so you can leave that open space right here to put in the cotton and to flip it inside out. And give a little tug and then cut. Now we are done with you, sewing machine. Now for the moment of truth. We are gonna flip this inside out using this little hole. Carefully, you don't wanna just shove it all at once, so just try to do one corner at a time. Massage it out. Massage those corners out, or just stick your finger in there. Okay, seriously? This looks so freaking cool already. Ah! Now it's time to stuff it with some cotton. Get this cotton, shove it in this hole. What I like to do is make sure that the cotton gets to the bottom before I shove too much in at a time. Or else it just starts to get really lumpy in one spot. Nobody wants that. All this cotton is going into this little pillow so we can make it super fluffy. I feel like this could be like Santa's sack. Just now that we have all the cotton inside, it is time to get our needle and thread and do the invisible stitch. Take your needle and on one side, go in the same side, just a little bit over, come out. Pull that thread. Then you're gonna go directly across. Just go out, just go through a little bit and then pull. And then when you do that, there is a line in the middle. You see that? When you pull that, it actually disappears. And you're just gonna keep doing that all around. Just gonna give a nice little pull and watch the magic happen. We're gonna finish it up with just one more knot. Cut the excess off and ta-da! We got our pillow! Isn't this awesome? You might want to massage it a little bit to let that cotton spread out. You can even give a little few punches. Like, it fits right in your arm. And you just sleep. So that is how you make your own YouTube Play Button plush toy.